Welcome back, everyone, and once again we are here to talk about Toy Story. In fact, Toy Story 2. Don't mind the Fortnite going on back there. It'll give you something else to look at other than my ugly ass face. So, this is once again directed by John Lasseter from 1999 and Family Animated Adventure. It stars mostly everyone from the first movie. Tim Allen is back as Buzz. Tom Hanks is back as Sheriff Woody. Joan Cusack is a nice addition as Jessie. Don Rickles returns as Mr. Potato Head. John Ratzenberger as Ham. Wallace Shawn as Rex. Annie Potts as Little Bo Peep. Jim Varney as Slinky Dog. Andrew Stanton, who was a writer on all 4 Toy Story films. And he's actually a writer on many other of the Pixar movies that we'll see. He plays Emperor Zurg. Estelle Harris, aka Muriel, the maid from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, as Mrs. Potato Head. Kelsey Grammer is Stinky Pete. I didn't know that. Wayne Knight, who we'll see in Jurassic Park, as Al McWiggin. John Morris as Andy Davis. And Jodie Benson as Barbie. So a few additions, a few returners. Once again has a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, very well earned, and off of a budget of $90 million, it made $497.4 million at the box office. So with 3 times the budget, is this sequel better than the original? Well, it's not better. It's actually equal. This movie does what all sequels need to do. It adds to the story. Before I get into my thoughts, I'm going to tell you a story. We had this and the first Toy Story film on VHS. And now, at some point, I lost the Toy Story 1 for VHS, but I have Toy Story 2 still. I watched this a lot as a kid. And I can honestly say it's my favorite of all 4 films. From its Star Wars-esque opening to its revenge plot to the fact that this film was followed by Buzz Lightyear Star Command, a TV show which lasted from 2000 to 2001 for 2 seasons and began with a direct-to-video movie that I remember watching a lot as a kid. Sadly, that's not on Disney+. As far as ranking these movies go, I can't. I'm physically incapable of saying, I like one over another. While this one is my favorite, all 4 films are still excellent. And all 4 stand as number 1. If I were to rank them, it'd be by a slim margin that I'd say any of them are better than any others. I can watch all of these, enjoy all of them. Therefore, there will be a ranking, as I said. However, it will be ranked by slim margins. When I do a top 10 for Pixar films, more than likely I'll group all 4 films as one complete story, just to make life easier. Oh, they're starting without me. All of the voice acting is great, and I have to admit I was pleasantly surprised to see Kelsey Grammer in the cast list. The animation is improved, but that's just what Pixar does. They make improvements over time to get to where they need to be. The story is classic. Woody gets kidnapped. Toy-napped? Anyway, by Al and is taken to Al's apartment where he meets long-lost characters from his TV show, Stinky Pete, Jessie, and Bullseye the horse. Woody realizes he's famous from a show called Woody's Roundup. Meanwhile, Buzz and Co. go on a mission to rescue Woody, and it leads to your normal antics. The 2 groups meet up at the apartment, and Woody decides to stay with his new friends instead of go with the old. This does lead to probably one of my favorite, leads to my favorite scene at the end of the movie, but there's another scene I'll talk about that I like just a slight bit more. Can't explain why. Leads to the flight to Tokyo / airplane sequence. Just so action-packed for an early Pixar movie, but it had come off of Bug's Life, which has a pretty good ending, I'd say. And of course, at the end of the movie, Woody does return to Andy's room by the end to set up for Toy Story 3. Al is probably the creepiest Pixar character. Just in looks, he was just washed up, old, like, shop owner. It's creepy. He's a weird dude. But he does fix up Woody using a professional cleaner, which is for some reason my favorite scene. I don't know why. I cannot explain why that is. But of course, my second favorite scene in the movie is the airplane sequence. But it's like a very close. This one does feel a little more action-packed than the first film, and that's nice to see. And it's all thanks to that climactic ending with the airplane sequence. And of course, once again, Randy Newman is back for another classic score. Why do I like this one over the original, and why is this one regarded as the best? I think had they not made Toy Story 3, the first two Toy Stories would feel as a complete story, as they're supposed to. When they made Toy Story 3, they made a movie that closes out the trilogy. So when Toy Story 4 comes along, a lot of people are like, well, where are they going to take this? Well, the toys have a new owner now. So you can continue the story with Bonnie, but at that point, you're just rehashing what's already been done. I think this one gets a lot of love, probably because it adds some of the greatest characters. It adds depth to the characters. One of the greater sequences, though, is the Jessie owner sequence. It's probably the saddest thing in Pixar, and that includes Carl and Ellie's kind of life in 10 minutes there, you know, in the beginning of Up. She's left by her owner, who switched all of a sudden to, you know, your normal teenage girl stuff. Goes from liking horses and cowgirl stuff to makeup and being popular. Happens. And what's driven by that theory is that the theory involves Andy's mom being Jessie's original owner, which is, it's a nice little touch. I'm not going to get too into any of these theories yet. I mean, I know the Pixar theory basically by heart, and I know some of the Andy's mom theories, the what you call it, the A112 theory that's in all of the Pixar movies. I know some of the Easter eggs and stuff like that. I mean, it's hard to put without saying it's a nostalgic thing. It's hard to say why this is my favorite. It is a nostalgia thing. I watched this one a lot as a kid. I know it by heart. I think Rex's antics throughout the whole movie is just funny. He's trying to defeat Zurg. He's using the manual from the video game. He thinks he's done it because of the manual from the video game. He's done it out of sheer luck. But to him, he's like, I defeated Zurg. It's so funny. I don't know. I love the whole cast. I love the whole story, the plot, all of it. Everything about these Toy Story movies, I love. And I have to say, out of all of the Pixar movies, this story, there's not, like I said, if I were to rank them, I have to do it ranked as a whole one complete story. Because it's, yes, Toy Story 4, not really necessary. It's still good, though. Toy Story 2 is definitely the best of the films, and the original Toy Story, we wouldn't have Pixar without it. Toy Story 3 is kind of that middle of the road that I'll talk about tomorrow. It's kind of confusing to me. And I mean that in the sense that, how do I put this? It confuses me. Not only does it complete the story, which is good, but it's kind of got pointless characters. It's hard to explain. But it does bring everything to one complete circle by the end of it. You see Andy go off to college and all that. But like I said, I'll get to that tomorrow. What do I grade this? What are you new here? This is a 10 out of 10, obviously. Not only does it have a 100, it's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. So, if they like it, they hate things. Like, what's a perfect example? Halloween 2018, I think it has like a 70-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. No, it needs higher. No, that movie is like pure gold to me. But I don't know why that is. You'll find out in October, won't you? So, I'm also going to give it a Silver Shamrock. Not that that really means anything, but it's always nice to give out an award to a movie that deserves it. So, tomorrow I will be talking about Toy Story 3. If you have any Pixar movies you want me to cover that aren't on the list, which is Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, Monsters, Inc., Inside Out, and Coco, let me know. Either DM me on Instagram or leave it down in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all those things that help me out real good. I'm going to do an Onward review. Basically, how it all worked out is I want to get some of the 2020 movies that I saw out, just kind of to boost the subscriber rate. And as it turns out, Pixar released a film this year called Onward. I'm doing the DCEU next week, which released a movie called Birds of Prey. And then the 2 weeks after that, I can do Sonic the Hedgehog and the Invisible Man. Either week. I'll probably do Invisible Man the week after. The first week we're back to kind of these random reviews. Just because it's directed by Leigh Whannell, who started the Saw franchise. So, probably do that since we're starting Saw Saturdays very soon. I'm excited. I can't wait. I've never actually seen an entire Saw movie, so I'm either about to be disgusted or completely blown away. I'm hoping for blown away. I don't want to be disgusted. So anyway, until tomorrow, I'm Luke, and I will see you guys later.